IBD is not just a disease of the gut, but it's also a disease of the entire body. It affects your joints, your bones, skin, liver. It also affects the psyche of an individual because this is also a lifelong disease. And it's very important to recognize that. I almost always encourage my patients to bring their significant other or anyone else who's involved in their care. And I ask them questions as well to see how well our patients are doing in terms of, are they taking the treatments on time? Are they following the diet that I told them last time?
When Dr. Ghouri came to the University of Missouri, we immediately started working together to plan a patient education event, which he presented at, and we also began work on forming a support group here in mid-Missouri for the IBD patients. It's pretty evident that he really cares about his patients. You don't find many physicians that volunteer their time to go speak at the support groups, that volunteer to go speak at patient education events.
Columbia's got a lot of colleges, a lot of kids, a lot of young adults who obviously suffer from this disease, which unfortunately commonly affects the younger population. Kind of addressing their little challenges like, oh, I had a bad breakup, or exam stress, or what have you, might sound silly to someone as an adult, but that's their life. Their entire stressful mechanism works around that.
Dr. Ghouri is so personable. He is very, very caring about his patients. Even outside of being in clinic with the patient, he's always comes up to me and say, hey, have you heard from this patient or have you heard from that patient? Let's call them and see how they're doing.
My journey with IBD started about 8 years ago whenever I was still active duty Army. I wasn't properly diagnosed then, and so until I met Dr. Ghouri, I went many years of not really knowing what was going on with me. My favorite thing about Dr. Ghouri is really just how him and I connect. His ability to talk to me as a human being and more like a friend is very productive.
When I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis, I thought it was just going to be the end of everything. I was invincible before this. I mean, I was in my 20s, I worked a full-time job, I was invincible. Then I got really sick and it made me realize that this can happen to anybody. I think the thing I respect the most about him is he is a straight shooter. He will be completely honest with you, even when you don't want to hear it, which is exactly what I need in my life. I was terrified to have another child after my first experience. When I went to him and told him my fears, he was like, this is not a real thing. Women with ulcerative colitis have children all the time. But when he said those words to me, I swear 1,000 pounds came off of me because I was like, I can have another baby. Like, I can complete my family.
Dr. Ghouri is always coming to me, how many clinics can I have to take care of patients? So this is something wonderful for a gastroenterologist. Like, he wants to see patients, he wants to take care of them. If I can put him from 7 till 9 working in the GI lab, he would definitely do it.
Try living the life of an IBD patient. I cannot empathize enough with what they're going through on a day-to-day basis. Perhaps one of the reasons why I go to Camp Oasis is to really understand what these kids are going through in their day-to-day life.
Camp Oasis is our summer camp for kids with Crohn's and colitis. It's a week-long residential summer camp where the kids get to just be kids and meet other people that have their disease and do all the typical summer camp activities. We have 2 GI doctors and 3 nurses on site for 24-hour care. That way, if the kids have a problem with their disease, there's somebody that knows their case history and that understands the disease.
He's provided them with hope. He's an advocate to them. He cares about them. He joins the great foundation, the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation, who are a true advocate in this arena, taking care of these people and making sure that IBD can be cured.
In my work, I'm most proud of the relationship that I've established with my patients. This is a sort of a lifelong relationship that I have with them where they can feel comfortable to ask me any questions. That relationship where they're completely open and honest with them, and I try to do the same. I try to be as honest and as open with them as possible.